Welcome to the Uzziah Show. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome. Guys, tonight we're going to talk about 3 things that turn successful men away. Ladies, take good notes for this. 3 things that turn successful men away. I want to give a big shout out to a lot of my top sponsors on this channel who are women, and they have asked me over time to do shows on this topic. So we're going to get into what things women typically do that repels extremely successful men. And by the time that you walk away from this lesson, you'll know exactly what not to do in order to attract the right man. And so for those of you guys that are just now joining, welcome. Please make sure that you smash the like button on your way in. If this is your first time watching, my name is Uzziah. I'm a professional business consultant, and my job is to help you get out of debt so you can start your own business. But every now and then I'll put episodes like this on the channel because everybody looks at success a little differently. You know, I can't just be your success strategist and we talk about money. I got to talk about everything that leads to living a successful life. For those of you that feel that success comes by your family, then you might enjoy tonight's broadcast, okay? All things success will be talked about on this channel. So if you are on, feel free to leave me a comment below. I want you to let me know what you think turns successful men away. That's what we're going to go into in this broadcast. What are the things that turns us off, y'all? Let's talk about that, okay? So why don't we go right into it? I'm gonna wait for y'all to start chiming in because I want to get y'all's commentary. But let's go ahead and begin, okay? First, I want to talk about my background on why I'm qualified to speak on this subject. Now, some of you guys have probably tuned into the previous broadcast that I did about how to attract successful men, the things that they want out of women. And in that broadcast, I told you that I've been a marriage counselor for a number of years. Some of you may or may not know I have actually officiated marriages, weddings in the past. So I have experience on this topic, okay? I myself am a married man. I've been married for a number of years. And so not only do I have a background in marriage and marriage counseling, I also happen to know a little bit about success because when I was 23 years old, I paid off over $95,000 in student loans 2 years after graduating from Baylor University. By the time that I was 25, I had already acquired my first rental property in North Austin. By 26, I retired from corporate America to be a full-time entrepreneur. I'm a best-selling author, but this is not about me. It's about you and the things that you could be doing to turn away successful men. I'm just giving you all this context so that you know what I'm talking about. You consider the source, you know who's giving you this content. All right. So now let's talk about the 3 things. When we talk about these 3 things that will turn away a successful man, the type of successful man that I'm talking about is a man who is already well established. He already has very strong signs of success. This is not a guy that you look at and think about his potential. This is a guy that's already doing it. He's only going upward from here. and you want to make this guy your husband because you want a provider for your house. Okay. This kind of man that I'm talking about specifically, this successful man, this is the type of man who is a certified leader. This guy can walk into any room and command attention and authority. This is the type of guy who you never have to worry about what's going to happen if you fall on hard times, because this is a man that's always firm as a leader, and he knows how to work himself out of any bad situation. If that kind of guy sounds appealing to you, then make sure that you tune in. And for the brothers that are on, you may want to share this with some women that you know, because for the life of them, they can't figure out, why can I not attract successful men? These three things are going to tell everything that you need to know. Okay. The first thing that I want to talk about is masculine energy. Masculine energy is one of the biggest reasons why successful men get turned away. Now, let's talk about where masculine energy comes from. Masculine energy comes from the pursuit of success. See, a lot of you guys, you only focus on, well, you know, I didn't have a mama that was ratchet and told me to cuss a guy out. And so why do guys say that to me, even though that's not my background? Nope, that's not the only way that you can get it. You can be a woman that has intentions to operate in femininity, and you can still project masculine energy. The reason why this happens is because when a lot of women pursue their career paths, they understand that they have to toughen up in order to succeed in this masculine world. I want y'all to understand this, ladies. There are a lot of you that are very educated and very smart, and you go out into the world to try to make a name for yourself. And right now, you may be independent. And every last one of us that are pursuing success on some level have to adopt certain mannerisms in order to be successful. Would y'all agree? Whether you are male or female, if you are going to succeed in this world, you're going to have to dominate. You're going to have to take on a posture of not being pushed over, not being overlooked. You're going to have to go out there and compete in order to be effective. The question is, what happens to you as a result? You know, when I first got married, I told my wife, Ariel, I don't really like when you have a job, because when you have a job, that puts a man's spirit on you. Now, see, the thing is, my wife is very feminine. By nature, she is very traditional, and she honors me as her leader and her head. But the problem is, regardless of how feminine a woman wants to be, when she goes out to this world and has to hustle and bustle to make ends meet, she's going to have to adopt masculine traits. She's going to have to stand up for herself if she wants to be competitive. Okay. So if you know that, that's what should make you have an awareness to say, oh man, you know what? If I understand that this does happen, even at a subconscious level, I got to be a little bit more aware, and I got to be a little bit more clear about my intentions whenever I'm in the presence of a successful man. How many times do you see women struggle with getting into relationships, and then when somebody pulls their card about why they're single, they say, oh, well, if the right man came along, then I would act this certain kind of way? If you've ever met a woman that says that, leave me a comment. Put a one in the chat if you've ever witnessed what I'm talking about. A lot of times, whenever women are confronted with someone who questions them as to why they're single, they'll constantly respond and say, well, if the right man came along, then I would be submissive. I would, act, in a feminine nature, but I have to act so masculine because these men don't know how to take charge. Well, the problem is this, ladies, because you don't have an awareness of how you act at work, that tends to carry over into your private life. And then you start projecting the same energy to men. Now, when you are at that 9 to 5 job, there are certain things that you feel that you have to do in order to stay on point. But you've got to know how to carry yourself with a different posture whenever you are in the presence of male leaders that you're looking to attract. I'm giving y'all the game and the format on how to have a successful husband. I'm speaking purely in the context of marriage because, as a church leader, the Bible only promotes husband and wife. There is no boyfriend, girlfriend. There is no dating. There is no friends with benefits. It's only husband and wife. So, as a successful man who runs his own business on top of being a church leader, I'm giving you guys a format on how to have a godly marriage. If you're trying to attract a godly man, because everybody says, oh, I want a man of God. I want a man that's going to serve as a man of the Lord, a good Christian man, and set everything in place. If I just had that man, then I would do everything that he wants me to do. Okay, ladies, y'all know some of that is cap, but we're going to talk about that on tonight's broadcast, okay? Akita said this is going to be lit. Absolutely. Make sure y'all chime in, okay? For those of y'all that just came in, tonight we're talking about 3 things that turn successful men away. So make sure that you smash that like button and make sure that you support the broadcast. All you got to do is donate. If you love this channel, if you love what this platform is about, then please donate to help to keep the show online. All you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box, and then I will give you a shout out for your donations. Now, for those of you that like to use Cash App, all you got to put in is $ the Uzziah Show. The donation information is on the screen and the links are in the description below. I want to give a big shout out to Kuda Nimbaware for the $10 Cash App that I received yesterday. Thank you so much for all of the support. Really appreciate you. Okay. So we're going to talk about 3 things that successful men walk away from. These are the 3 things, ladies, that when you engage in this type of behavior, it's going to turn the man away no matter how good you look. Listen, you could be doing a lot of things right. You get these 3 things wrong, it's going to be a repellent. It's going to turn them away. I'm just giving you all the game. I'm telling this to you as a man. Number 1 is masculine energy. A lot of y'all don't even notice when you're in your masculine energy because you're so busy working, it becomes normal. When you pursue an academic path or a career-oriented path, you are going to have to adopt certain mannerisms by default. Okay. Lots of businesses are run by men. Lots of executives are men. So when you go out and you try to be competitive in the presence of men, oftentimes you will adapt certain masculine characteristics just to try to hold your own weight. It's one thing when you do that at the job. It's another thing when you're trying to be in the presence of a successful man who you want to attract. And most specifically, what I mean when I'm talking about masculine energy is whenever somebody is being overbearing, stubborn, or authoritative. Ladies, if you just focus on those three things for now, it will go a long way. I got to get Ariel on one of these broadcasts soon because I want y'all to know that everything that I'm telling y'all about, I live this. Okay. I want to be able to show you guys how when you try to position yourself to be successful, whether it's financially, spiritually, maritally, etc., you have to know the rules to the game. There are some of you out there that know how to be financially successful. But when it comes to your relationships, you are absolutely terrible. You have to understand the rules. If you want to attract a successful man, you have to put off the masculine energy. The three things that give off the most masculine energy characteristics is being overbearing, stubborn, and authoritative. So let's talk about how that happens. When someone is overbearing, they are typically talking over people. They are typically, kind of hard to deal with. They are not very agreeable in terms of having a conversation. Oftentimes, with overbearing people, it's my way or the highway. So, if that's the way that you roll, it's not going to attract a quality man. The reason why it's not going to attract a quality man, ladies, is because if you're pursuing a successful man, he's already got himself together. By the time that you come into that man's life, it is simply complementary to his purpose. He's already built a life outside of you. I am not talking about the average man, nor the man that is on the way. I'm talking about the man who has already built a foundation for himself. This kind of brother is the type of brother that does not need anyone else in order to sustain himself. He already has his own house. He already has his own car. He already has his own money. Therefore, anything that you bring to the table is going to be complimentary at best. Okay. The sooner that you can really internalize that one lesson alone, the better off you'll be, because a lot of times women will go through average men, and the experiences that they have with average men is what they carry over into dealing with successful men, and they wonder why things don't work out. So when you deal with an average man, that man, he'll kind of depend on you because he needs your money in order to be successful. He needs your contributions in order for him to have stability. But when you're dealing with successful men, they're already stable. They already have a certain foundation. So even if you're bringing a job, even if you're bringing a degree, even if you're bringing intelligence, it is only complementary at best. And you have to position it as such if you're going to attract the right man. Now, I want to start getting some of y'all's comments, ladies. I want to start knowing what you think. In fact, I'm going to give y'all this link to Cam Up. I want us to have a good conversation on this topic. What are the three things that turn successful men away? Men, let me know if I'm off base. Am I speaking facts, or am I just talking out the side of my neck? The first thing that we talked about is masculine energy. Stubbornness is self-explanatory. Okay, ladies, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't care how much money you make or how successful you are in corporate America. If I cannot tell you anything, I am going to walk away. I'm just giving y'all the format as a man myself. One of the biggest turnoffs that I have experienced is whenever I've tried to share something with a woman and I knew that she could benefit from it, but you won't actually look to the man that you want to be with as a counselor. You will look to him as, oh, I'm already trying to be equals with him. And because I'm trying to be equals with him, my ego will not allow me to receive anything that he has to say in terms of guidance. That turns a man away. Now, see, when you're dealing with an average dude or a deadbeat, then you can do what you want, because half the time he don't have nothing to show you. Half the time you step into relationships with men where you're already on such a level where you feel like the man is beneath you, so you put yourself in a position where you feel like you can't be told nothing. But when you get in front of a man that's already at the top of his game, it doesn't work that way. Men that are at the top of their game, these men are leaders. These men are bosses. These men are CEOs. So, because they lead other people by default, they're not going to stop doing that when it comes to you. They're going to still operate within that mode, y'all. And if you are not willing to receive instruction from a successful man as a leader, then you don't have the right mindset to attract a successful man. When I'm speaking about a successful man, I've already defined the archetype. I'm speaking about a man that represents the alpha male leader that many sisters say that they want. This is the type of guy that can walk into a room and other men are going to show respect. This is the type of guy, if you put him in any organization, it's only a matter of time before he rises to the top. Guys, for those of y'all that are tuning in, you've been living life long enough. There are some people that step into a room that blend in, and there are some people that step into a room who stand out. This type of man that I'm talking about is the stand out brother. This is the guy that as soon as they walk into the room, other people start talking. Hey, did you see who came in? Yeah. That's the dude I was telling you about. Yeah, that's the dude that graduated at the top of his class. That's the guy that's making six figures. That's the guy that, you might want to check out. This is the man that men want to be like and other women adore. If you're pursuing that type of man, you got to come a certain kind of way. I'm just giving it to y'all simple and plain. Shout out to Adrian F. She says an uncooperative woman is a turnoff. Big shout out to my brother Rodney Lawrence. You've been on my spirit, my brother. I'm so happy to see you on, man. I was just about to send you an email. I just wanted to make sure that everything was going well with you and your family. Shoot me an email, King. I'm not going to get into all of the details tonight. I know we out here public, but I'm so excited to see you on. You've been on my heart, my brother. I've been praying for you, and I hope all is well with you, man. And if there's anything that I could do to be able to show you some support, my brother, just reach out and let me know. All right. So for those of y'all that are just now joining, we're talking about 3 things that turn successful men away. These things are turnoffs, and these are things that you want to avoid at all costs if you want your marriage to be successful. Shout out to Ariel. She's the proof. She's the proof that I'm not out here just talking. I'm someone that actually has the results behind the things that I say. I keep telling y'all, I'm going to get Ariel on here one of these days. Y'all got to be ready, because we're going to do a deep dive on our marriage, the highs and the lows, and the best practices for any of you who are trying to have a successful marriage. So, when we talked about being overbearing, we talked about what that means. We also talked about stubbornness. The third and final thing that I want to talk about under the category of masculine energy is being authoritative. Being authoritative means that you look at your potential man as a boy. See, some of us come from single parent households, and we've never witnessed a man take authority in our lives. So even if it's unintended, you get in front of the right person and then you start acting like you're calling the shots. When you're dealing with the type of successful man that I'm talking about, you got to know how to take a back seat. You're not supposed to be trying to go round to round with this type of man. You're not supposed to be acting like you're his superior and his boss. When you deal with this kind of man, he's going to respect you for what you have to offer, but you don't have to project that from a place of insecurity. When you are very secure about who you are, you don't have to yell about it to get the point across. Y'all feel me? A lot of times, the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room. So when women tend to do this, they don't realize that men view that as over projection because there's something within them that is insecure. Some of the strongest women that I have ever met are the ones that are extremely meek, poised, who understand where their strength comes from. If you're a man or a woman, your strength does not come from your words. It comes from your actions because your results will speak for itself. If somebody has to do a lot of talking, they don't really have it. The people that really got it, you already know who they are when they walk in the room, okay? Their presence speaks for them. So, ladies, when we talk about an authoritative personality, if you ever run into this man who is very successful, you want to already presume that he has enough common sense to make sound decisions, which is what got him to the success in the first place. I'm telling you, ladies, some of the things that I might be saying right now may sound very matter of fact, but you'll be surprised how often I've seen women do these things just by second nature. So you might have been, 30 years old when you met a successful man. You might be 40. And whenever you met the man, you were already so used to being independent, it's hard for you to turn that off. If you're 35 years old and you've got your own place and you've got your own career going for yourself, you've already developed so many habits of being the sole decision maker and the sole provider. But what happens when somebody else comes into the equation? This is where it's going to start getting uncomfortable because now the man's going to be making decisions. Now the man is going to be setting the course for the household. And unfortunately, there's a lot of ladies who don't have enough self awareness to see themselves and say, hey, you know what? This is true, what Uzziah and so many other men are saying. I've been an adult so many years of my life. I've been so accustomed to making my own decisions. Even if the right man came to me, it would be hard for me to turn that off. But you don't start working on it once you run into the man. You start working on doing that now. So, as an example, when you find yourself in a corporate setting, don't always try to show value in a meeting by asserting your opinion first. Sometimes there's power in hearing everybody else's opinion and then waiting on another leader in the room to ask you, hey, what do you think? Oftentimes, real leaders will assess the thoughts of others before they give their opinion first, because oftentimes whatever the leader says goes anyways. So a lot of times they allow other people to speak first, just as common courtesy. Y'all don't hear me, man. Not only are y'all getting game on relationships in your marriage, I'm also putting out workplace etiquette. I'm giving y'all the gems now. Before I retired from corporate America, I was a PMP certified IT project manager for what was at the time the largest technology company in the world. I worked for Hewlett Packard. I While I was working for Hewlett Packard, not only was I a PMP certified IT project manager, I was also a campus recruiting manager, as well as the president of HP Austin's Black Employee Network. I've always functioned in a leadership role. So I'm not telling you guys things that I've read out of a book. I'm giving you the real secrets as a practitioner within the industry. I knew what it took to dominate in corporate, and I know what it takes to be successful in marriage. And for the feminine woman who desires to be effective in both arenas, your best positioning is to always be a woman of competence that's very skilled, where people will come to you for advice rather than you having to shove that down somebody else's throat. I know a lot of times when you find yourself in the working world, you feel like the only way where people will pay attention to you is if you're the first one with your hand up, is if you're the loudest one that's just shoving your opinion forward. That's I'm trying to get on energy. That's not I already made it energy. I'm keeping this at corporate level. And some of this stuff really should be Patreon, because it's step-by-step process on how to be successful in the professional arena, okay? When you are in the corporate workplace, in your 20s, as you're trying to make a name for yourself before your name is already well established, you have to be the person to initiate everything. People have to see you take the drive, take the lead, grab the bull by the horns, because that type of mentality is what has other people in the company look at you and say, wow, this person is really a worker. You know, when I was at HP, during the time that I was there, over 50,000 people was laid off. And there was something that I was doing amidst all of those people that kept me retained on the job. One of the things that kept me on was that go-getter mentality. When you're trying to develop yourself in your career path, you have to always take the lead. However, once I became the president and the manager of certain groups, I wasn't going to other people. People were coming to me. It was not me going out to people saying, hey, you know what we should do? We need to do this, that, and the third. It was, hey, Uzziah, we've got this career fair going on. Does HP want to participate? This is the information that I was getting from universities. Okay, so everything that I'm telling you guys is just the process. And if you're still trying to make a name for yourself in corporate or whatever industry you find yourself in, some of you may be blue collar, as you start to emerge as a professional, you have to put yourself out there. But as you evolve into someone that is already known for more competence, you have to play a different game. And the reason why you have to shift and evolve into that is because that's relationship principle is exactly what will make you effective in your marriage. You can have a thought, but it doesn't mean that you need to lead with that thought first. Okay. So let me take a quick second to give a shout out. I want to give a big shout out to my sister, Keita Monet. Always a pleasure having you in the house, my sister. You said, I really appreciate the gems being dropped. Coming from an environment that teaches women to be loud and seen, this is really needed. Amen. Okay. Ariel says, so true. That is key. You have to play the back seat. Okay. I want all of you ladies to know this. There's a time to step up and there's a time to fall back. But some of us are so used to taking charge at all seasons, we don't know how to operate any other way. And when you are in the presence of a man that's successful, you will have to fall back from time to time. There's going to be times, ladies, where the successful man is going to look to you if you are skilled and proficient in certain areas. And then there's going to be time where that man wants to be looked at as the leader. He wants to be looked at as the provider. So for you to usurp that from him, it diminishes his character. That actually emasculates him. So y'all got to know these things, because you don't start doing it once you're in the marriage. You start doing it long before you get there. That's what gets you there in the first place. Okay. Also, I'm going to give a big shout out, y'all, to our sister Tiana Johnson, another business owner. She is 8 days away from what will be, Lord willing, a successful delivery. So we wish you all the best, my sister. All right. We're praying for a safe delivery. Okay. You got it in the bag, sister. Keep doing what you do. All right. So for those of y'all that are just now joining, we're talking about 3 things that turn successful men away. Okay. Some of y'all wish that you had a successful man in your life, but there may be certain characteristics that you're giving off that could turn them off at every turn. So for those of y'all that are just now joining, please make sure that you smash the like button. Please make sure that you donate to keep this show going. All right. I'm just keeping this light for y'all so that way you could have a good motivator to start your week. Okay. Everything that I just told y'all in the game I was giving about how to play it when you're corporate, y'all could start the week off doing that and see the results that you get. Let's talk about the second thing that turns successful men away. Y'all ready? Baggage. Baggage, 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 baggage turns successful men away. Some of y'all have physical baggage. Maybe you've done things leading up to this marriage that could hinder how the man views you. Maybe you have certain emotional baggage. This is the reason why oftentimes it's important to seek therapy. No matter what kind of baggage you bring to the table, it's going to factor into the possibility of your relationship. So if you are bringing too much baggage to the table, men are going to look the other way. See, ladies, I know that there's certain things that you want a man to focus on, but you cannot change the nature of a man. No matter how good you look and no matter how much money you make, him seeing your baggage is unavoidable. There's only so long he could turn a blind eye to that. Now, if you are still living a worldly life where you letting men hit it and quit it, then you might feel like, oh, well, the men I deal with, they don't really care. Yes, that's because it's pump and dump. I'm talking about a man who is going to spend the rest of his life with you. So he is going to be very well connected to flaws and all. This is the type of guy you cannot hide from. See, when it comes to most men that you might have just dealt with in the past, you might have been dealing with those men hiding some of the skeletons in your closet. When you marry a man and you have a long-term relationship, there's only so long that you can hide. Everybody can front and everybody can show you the person that they want you to see. But once you find yourself in that marriage, that's when they're going to find the real you. Both of you are going to find out who you really are. And that's the reason why you need to bring as little baggage as possible. Okay. The baggage comes in the form of drama. There may have been dudes in your past that you're bringing along with you. Also, a lot of baggage comes through family issues. Maybe you already have kids. Maybe you view your mother or someone else in your family as your best friend. So once you get married, the successful man feels like he's marrying you and your mama too. These are all things that if a man sees this, he's going to view it as a red flag. Now, again, ladies, the more successful a man is, the less likely he is to tolerate this activity. See, I want you to think about it on a sliding scale. I know a lot of us are very good with the academics and we know how to make sense of things logically. So I want you to understand what I'm saying. There is a sliding scale relationship with a man's success and tolerance. If a man is not successful, he's going to be more receptive to problems because winners can't be choosers. I'm sorry, beggars can't be choosers, right? If you've not put yourself in a position of success, you got to take what you can get. But if you've put yourself in the top 10 to 20% of men on the planet, you're a brother that can pick and choose. So any one woman that comes with the world of baggage is not going to be competitive or extremely enticing from a long-term perspective, because for every one woman who offers that much drama, there's 10 other women behind you that are coming with less drama to deal with. So how are you ever going to outshine them all in pursuit of one man? Okay, I really want y'all to hear what I'm saying. When you come with baggage, just because another man was willing to put up with that, it doesn't mean that a man who's on another level of higher value is going to be willing to tolerate that. Okay, and oftentimes in this life, you don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. Again, a lot of y'all sleeping on this broadcast because you think everything that I'm saying just has to do with, marriage and the quality of your relationship. The game that I'm kicking to you, I always give you the principles of success in business, in finance, in your career path. In your career path, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So what I mean is, there are some of you out there who say, well, I want to be wealthy. I want to be a millionaire. But how many times do you actually work 60 hours a week or longer pursuing your number one strength? There are a large array of people that'll work somewhere at a dead-end job that's not tied to their, skills and their strengths at all. So just you working alone is not guaranteeing that you will have financial success. It doesn't mean that you will be wealthy. I'm asking how many of y'all that actually say that you want to create generational wealth have positioned yourself to take your top strengths and tie that to something that's lucrative, and you say, okay, I'm getting to the money now. I have a love for computers and I'm in a computer business. I'm working for a computer company. I'm doing all things for computers. So my competence is tied to my 9 to 5. Oh, okay. I've been doing a 9 to 5 for a bit. Okay. You know what? I'm so competent at the 9 to 5. I'm going to take my same exact skill sets and I'm going to productize this. I'm going to take my knowledge and turn it into a good or service. A lot of y'all not hearing me. I'm saying, in order for you to have that, you've got to be the type of person within yourself that says, okay, I'm going to spend certain time working at the 9 to 5, and then I'm going to get off the 9 to 5, and I'm going to turn this into the 5 to 9. You have to be the right type of person in terms of your work ethic and knowledge in order to produce the type of wealth that you want to attract. Again, wealth, just like what I mentioned earlier, is not the type of thing that you go down and hunt. It is something that is drawn to you once you're the right person of value. I always tell you guys, when you first start off, you're always headhunting, trying to get it because you don't have it. But once you have it, then that's when you can write your own ticket. Okay, so let me give a prime example. People right now will pay me to go and speak in public venues. People will pay me for consulting. People will pay me for books. People will pay me for radio appearances. People will pay me for all kinds of different things. But nobody would pay me when I didn't have the skill. When I didn't have the skill, the goal was skill acquisition. So I might have had to go to school. I might have had to get to certain certifications. I might have had to build up my track record in order to command respect. But now, in having the respect and having the track record of success in my arenas, now other people will come to me and say, hey, do you offer this? How do I sign up? I'm not saying this to speak about myself. I'm saying this to speak about you and how you should interpret the world, because a lot of us, we can only look through the lens of where we are right now in life. But that's what's stopping you from getting to the next level, because the lens that you would need to look through to actually get to the next level is beyond the scope of what you can see today. A lot of you guys, you only know hustle, 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 because you've never been in a position where everybody is already drawn to you. So in your mind, it's hustle or die. But I'm telling you, the reason why you're already in scarcity and lack is because you never think, well, how is Warren Buffett being viewed? How is Bill Gates being viewed? Okay, does Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have to beg somebody for a radio appearance? Or are they getting phone calls nonstop because they are already the person that people want? The question is, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you get Bill Gates wealthy and then take on his mindset? Or do you get the Bill Gates mindset and then you get Bill Gates wealthy? These are all things that we have to know, whether we're speaking in our business, whether we're speaking at our jobs, whether we're speaking in our marriages. All of these things make sense. Okay. So Rodney says these men in our community are somewhat rare. They require more than sex and deserve more than what was given to the lower class man. Those are facts. And I think a lot of times our sisters, unfortunately, because of the fact that these men are somewhat rare, they'll look at other types of men and see what happened there, and then they'll bring it over to a more rare man and wonder why it doesn't work. So we're going over the three things that turn successful men away. Number one is masculine energy. Number two is baggage. And number three is a lack of support. Again, ladies, I told y'all before, if you are attracting a successful man, he is not looking to you on a need basis. He is looking to you on a want basis because you provide pleasantry. You see, when you're dealing with a man that's not about much, he'll look from a more I need you basis. When you're dealing with a man that is already successful and well established, you are just added unto the equation. Okay, you're an addition to that man's progress. And when we talk about the spirit of lack of support, I'm going to show y'all something. Y'all know I always do my homework and preparations for these broadcasts, okay? I want y'all to look at this example. pay close attention, ladies. Okay. And brothers, if what I'm saying is cap, put it out there. Tom Brady thanks wife Gisele Bündchen for putting career on hold. In the end, you gotta be supported by the right people. Ladies, I have a question. How many of you currently have a level of success and notoriety in your career paths?
At healthcare.gov,
oh man, hold on.
Millions more people.
These damn ads is popping up. Y'all forgive me. Ladies, the question, how many of you currently have a level of success and notoriety in your industry at the level of Gisele Bündchen? Gisele Bündchen was a freaking supermodel known by women all around the world. There are a lot of y'all ladies out there that are not holding a candle to this woman's prominence, and you will make an excuse and say, well, I can't support a man because my career. Well, now you got Gisele Bündchen putting her career on hold for a successful man. So what is your excuse? A lot of women say this based upon fear of letting go of their own dominance. A lot of times you say career, but you only say career because that puts you in a position of power. And power is so enticing to you by nature that you don't want to let it go. Ladies, come on, keep it a buck now. How many of y'all, if Tom Brady was on the market, right? And let's just sit back, okay? I know a lot of our sisters, we look to our brothers, all right? And so I'm keeping it where it's at. But again, I'm just making an analogy and a comparison, okay? I'm just making an analogy and a comparison. What I'm saying is, have you ever been on the level of the Gisele Bündchen? And have you ever dated a man that was as successful as Tom Brady? Okay, we're speaking about marriage. This is a married couple. She is taking care of this man's kids. In the end, you got to be supported by the right people. And in order for Tom Brady to have his success, there had to be certain sacrifices that his wife made to give support. It says Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady acknowledged that his wife put her career on hold for more than a decade to raise their family as he went on to achieve major milestones in his own career. You know the reason why so many ladies will never find themselves in this type of relationship? Because they are unwilling to forego their professional dreams to pursue the right man who's pursuing his. For a lot of y'all, I know you know what y'all are saying right now? Well, see, the right man, he would never make me choose between him and my vision. The right man will allow me to manifest my dreams. Y'all think I don't know this already? Y'all think I don't do this in real life? I do this beyond YouTube. I actually counsel people in marriage in the real world. I'm telling you, these are the things that women say. This woman was at the height of the modeling industry, and she put it all on hold because she was in the presence of the right man. Look at Beyonce and Jay-Z. Look at how even through Jay's infidelity, you still see Beyonce playing her role. You don't see her operating in the spirit of single ladies, even though that's what she sold you on when you bought her music. I'm just giving y'all the game. If y'all want to take it or not, that's on you. It says the 7-time, and I'm glad that y'all can see this photo because this could be you, but you tripping. The 7-time Super Bowl champion made the comments during his Sirius XM podcast, Let's Go, just 2 days after making history as the first player to throw 600 career touchdown passes, and then taking on two more in Tampa Bay's 38-3 rout over Chicago on Sunday. During the episode, Brady credits his wife, supermodel Gisele Bundchen, as a huge reason why he has been able to live out his dream. In the end, you got to be supported by the right people, he said. I married the right woman. So, you ladies, you're getting it straight from the horse's mouth. You are looking at one of the most successful men on the planet. And he's telling you the characteristics of the type of woman that landed him. You can either take note and follow, or you could do it your own way and see how it works out. But I just wanted to throw that at you. Okay. These are the principles, ladies. If you say that you want the successful man, you now have the blueprint. Okay. Successful men are looking for support in raising a family. They're looking for support physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The financial support that you can provide is only a compliment if this man is successful. Okay. It's not to say that a man wouldn't use it or discredit it, but I think oftentimes we put far more weight into the finances as the sole factor that determines success. Okay. Even if we're talking about just regular general success, money means nothing if you're not using it in the right way. All right. So I'm giving y'all the link right now for y'all to cam up. All y'all got to do is click the link in the comments below. Let me know what y'all think about these three things that turn successful men away. Are you the kind of woman that wants a successful man? And what are you going to do in order to find him? Now, Adrian says, yes, a woman will keep a to-do list. Ariel says, I'm sure. She says, I sure don't have the level of success that Gisele Bundchen has. Keep working, my sister. One day it's coming. Okay. So for those of y'all that are just now joining, welcome. We're talking about three things that turn successful men away. And see, this is such an important and a heavy topic, because even though I'm joking with Ariel about this, see, Ariel already has so much success in levels over Gisele Bundchen, in my opinion, but that's because she's my wife. And the reason why I say this is because every woman has to identify what is the criteria of being a successful woman in the eyes of a successful man. A lot of times we like to quantify being a successful woman as, I've got my own job, I've got my own car, I've got my own house. But you need to understand what a successful man deems to be successful in the eyes of a woman that he looks for as a wife. Okay. And that's the reason why I said, when I look at Ariel, she does what she needs to do for me. And she'll tell you it's a lot of work and it's not easy, but I definitely make it worth her while. Okay. So I want comments, guys. I want to see what y'all think on this subject. I know Rodney's been chiming in for the brothers, but do we have any other male commentary in the house? What do you think about this subject? Ladies, give me comments and let me know what y'all think also. Okay. For those of y'all that love this broadcast, please make sure that you donate. All you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below, and then your super chat will be acknowledged. Thank you so much for helping to keep this show on air. Even if you're watching this broadcast after the live stream is over, you can still donate. All you got to do is click the links in the description below. Okay. Now, I got a bonus for y'all. I got a bonus for those of you who found value in the first three. Remember what the first three are, ladies. The three things that turn successful men away is masculine energy, too much baggage, and a lack of support. The fourth thing that turns successful men away is by you making comparisons to other men. Men hate that. Brothers, can I get a witness? When you get with a successful man, right? Again, you really need to support that man in particular. Every man is on a different path. Everybody's life is unique. So when you start comparing that man to the success of other men, it's sure to lead to nothing but conflict. Ain't nothing good coming from it. You're going to be in for a night of drama. That man is bound to have a level of resentment towards you. And ladies, even if you are not making a comparison in a demeaning way, a lot of times when you bring up certain men in a certain kind of way, that can rub men wrong also. Okay. Trust me, I've experienced this. And ladies, I'm going to tell you, I've been through many situations. Why are these trolls coming on this broadcast? See, this is the reason why I can't talk about these type of subjects. I got all these spam folks coming in on the channel and got to delete stuff. Anyway, y'all know I need moderators. So for those of y'all, the channel is growing, y'all. We're starting to get more subscribers. Thank y'all for the support. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please make sure that y'all do so, okay? And turn on the notification bell so that way you can receive an alert every time I do another show, okay? One of the things that I want y'all to know is that over the years, I've gone through this issue personally, where I've had men take issue with me for no other reason than the fact that their wives was speaking highly of me behind closed doors. And I'm not saying that to be messy. I'm literally giving examples of situations that happen. You know, me and a brother could be cool. We could be close friends. But then because their wife sees what I'm doing, whether it's in my business, whether it's in the church, whether it's, you know, the vacations that my wife and I are going on, whatever it may be, she'll go off and then look at that and then start telling her husband about that. And then that will start putting resentment in that man, and it'll draw a wedge, not only in their relationship, but in our relationship also with me and the man. You got to be very careful about that, ladies. A lot of times, here's a lot of wisdom. And I know a lot of y'all, you're going to reject it and you're still going to do your own thing. But when it backfires on you, just come back and watch the show again. Okay. When a student is ready, the teacher appears. The best way for you to draw the comparisons is to always just keep it between that man and himself. At the end of the day, every man is on a conquest to be the very best version of himself. He's not meant to replicate somebody else. And for men that are actually pursuing success and dominance, every day is a battle of him versus him. Where you step in is you encourage that man. You don't nag him and scold him. You identify where he is now. And when you think about where you ultimately want to be with this man, just know that the comparison between the two is best communicated by the encouragement. Let me give an example, ladies. You want a man on Tom Brady level, but you ain't Gisele Bundchen. So you got work to do, just like he does too. Instead of telling the man what he isn't, you want to play it like this. You know, you just work so hard. You just put in so much work. You talking to your husband right now. You just put in so much work, and I really love you so much. You know, all of these other guys, they can't hold a candle to you, babe. Even when we talk about guys like Jordan and Brady, I know that you work hard just like them. Hell, you probably work even harder than them. This is how you want to play it, ladies. Because when you can blow a man's head up from that angle, that would actually inspire a man to work harder, because now you're giving him momentum. Start reading these books about Think and Grow Rich, different success books from Napoleon Hill. He actually wrote this in the books, that a lot of times men don't reach the prime of their success until they've already been married and they've gotten the encouragement from a very uplifting woman to do it. Now, let me be very clear with my words. I am not saying that the man could not have gotten to a level of success without the woman. These kinds of successful men are independent self-starters who are going to achieve and chase success with or without you. What I'm saying is, the average age of a man that's well off is 50 plus. That man will have already been married by that time. So when that man's success is studied, oftentimes you will find that man, more often than not, being in a marriage with an encouraging woman who knew how to encourage him in the way that he wanted, rather than what she thought was best. There are a lot of you that are out there acting as though you are well intentioned when you tell men certain things, but all it does is take the wind out of a man's sails. A lot of times, the reason why men don't want to hear you get on your tirade about what other men are doing is because you're not speaking the language of the man. You got to understand the man's language. And one thing that I know about men in general is that they like to be celebrated for their efforts. So rather than telling them what they're not doing and what you're not getting, the best way for you to make those comparisons is not to bring other men into the equation. It's to constantly inspire that man to just be a better version of himself, because the compound effect of that man being a better version of himself day by day is him actually being on the level of the other men who you're drawing the comparisons to. And I got to say this also at the end of the day, ladies, we talk about this comparison game, but at the end of the day, you really need to stop getting out of following the Joneses. You need to honor and support the man that you chose, and stop thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. I'm giving you these tactics and these strategies on how to do things in an effective way. But ultimately, the women that are the most fulfilled are the ones that find peace, success, and security in their own man and not someone else. Okay. So if you can just focus on these three things plus the bonus, you'll be surprised the type of men that you would find in your presence. All right. So that does it for this one, y'all. We got another episode in the books. Did y'all like tonight's broadcast? I told y'all that every now and then I'm going to start putting, just certain bits of help out there on things that successful men look for in quality women, and what things that you can do to make sure that you are complementary to a successful man. So I need y'all's comments. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's broadcast. Also, leave me a comment and let me know what type of topics you want me to talk about in the future. Remember, I'm the voice for the people. Let me know what you want me to talk about. If you want me to talk about business, I'll talk about business. If you want me to talk about certain things, just let me know. Okay. So if you have yet to do so, please make sure that you smash the like button. And as always, I give y'all 2 free stocks just as a way of saying thank you for joining. See, now the brothers is piling in. Okay. Shout out to my brother Rick. The brother Rick said, dang, he caught this late. Shaking my head. About to replay it now. Good to see you on. As always, King, much love and respect to you, my brother. All right. Rodney Lawrence says, we are too smart, talented, and beautiful people to have such a low marriage rate. Absolutely. We got to do better as a community, y'all. We got to be able to figure this thing out. And as someone who's been happily married for years, I'm just trying to give y'all the best practices that I've seen in my life personally and what I have seen with others. Okay. So please make sure that y'all get y'all's 2 free stocks before we end tonight's broadcast. All you got to do is click the link in the comments below. Okay. The Uzziah Show is sponsored by Webull, one of the fastest growing financial brokerage companies in the world. And when you get a Webull account, not only can you invest in stocks, you can also invest in cryptocurrency. So for those of y'all that are trying to get into the crypto space, just set up a free account with Webull and you'll already have 2 free stocks to get going. Now, I really love what you said right here, Adrienne, about how to respect money, that being a good topic. I'm definitely going to add that one in the mix. And you know the reason why I love that you said this so much? Because my wife, Ariel, is taking note of this behind the scenes. See, a lot of y'all don't realize my wife, when she tunes into these broadcasts, she's working for me behind the scenes. My wife works for me. And so if you want to know the characteristics of the women that are out here doing it, when you look at the Ariels, the Vanessa Bryans, the Giselle Bungins, they're working to help build their man up and respect the vision that he has going. You know the reason why they do that, ladies? Is because when the man wins, everybody wins. But a lot of times, if you're trying to be so competitive, you won't actually support the man to be as successful as he can be. And as a result, that ends up backfiring on you. If you're so caught up in your own interests and your own career paths as a married woman, that will actually slow down the collective success that you can have because your energy is being split into 2 places. See, y'all not really ready for this topic, man. You're not ready for this talk because y'all think all I'm going to do is just get on here and just talk crap. But in actuality, you're like, damn, this brother's actually bringing science and principles into this. Whenever you split energy into 2 different directions, you're always losing the amount of force and power. Okay, the sun, when it's scattered, right, it's only going to be but so hot. But when you take the power of a sunbeam and you channel it all in one place, it can burn through other elements. It can burn through things. That's the reason why you want to be laser focused on building up your marriage in your relationship. Okay. You want to be laser focused. You don't want to be scattered in everything. All right. You want to be very focused on what is it that I need to do to help my household make it. And when you can come from that perspective, being selfless instead of selfish, everybody wins. You, your husband, and your kids. All right, y'all. So it's definitely been a treat, man. I hope that y'all enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Make sure that you are on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, I do these shows 6 days a week. If y'all love tonight's broadcast, then please make sure that you donate. Make sure that y'all go back and watch this episode, ladies, because it's not enough for you to just hear this one time because it'll go in one ear and out the other. I'm throwing at y'all another success principle. This is just about life and business in general. Whenever you hear something that is very valuable, that really resonates with you at your core, you need to play it multiple times. The reason why is because there are so many different bits of content and information pulling at you every single day. You need a lot of repetition to deepen the impression. When you learned a language, you didn't just hear the language one time. You heard it over and over, and you had to constantly recite words repetitiously. For any skill that you have right now in the marketplace, you didn't just do it one time. You did it over and over and over. And that's how you became one with your skill. If you want to be successful in this life, I am not just talking about marriage. You must repeat whatever it is that you've received that's valuable over and over and over again, because even though that you may feel that it's repetitious or boring, you're actually reprogramming your mind to focus on the most important lessons towards your success. And that's the reason why when I focus on business, I could read the exact same book 5 to 10 times. I could listen to the exact same audios 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 times. My wife will tell you, I will play the same video 50 times over just to make sure that I have fully internalized everything from the message so that I could go out here and dominate. And one of the reasons why you may not be more successful than you would like to be is because whatever information that was powerful for you, you only heard it one time, and then 2 weeks later, it's already gone from your memory because there's been so many impulses that you've taken in since that time, you don't remember it. Okay, so I just throw it another nugget at y'all. If y'all love what this show is about, please donate, y'all. I cannot do this without your support. Okay, please tap that dollar icon directly below the live chat box to give a super chat. For those of y'all that like to do Cash App, all you got to do is do $ the Uzziah Show. Or for those of y'all that would rather send on PayPal, the information is on the screen. Listen, I love y'all. I pray that this is of value for y'all. And if more of us apply what was brought out in tonight's broadcast, we would see a lot more healthy marriages. I pray for nothing but success and happiness for you in your life. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Until then, keep pushing. Have a great week.